Okay, so the next game we're going to talk about is Karuba, which came out in 2015. It's ages 8+, 2 to 4 players, 30 to 40 minutes. And this is rated as 7.3 out of 10 on Board Game Geek. Its overall ranking is a 373 out of over 15,000 games. And its family rank is really good at 58 out of 1,600 games ranked family. So we got this in after playing it in Tucson at RenCon last September in 2017. So we played it with some friends that we're going to see again soon.
Yeah, in a couple days.
And then, so I just forgot what I was going to say. But anyways, let's take a look at how the game plays. So you'll see that there's each player gets a board. You'll see in the playthrough here in a moment. These pieces are the common pieces. You're basically trying to get your person to the temple. So each player will take turns selecting an explorer and a temple they have to go to, and everybody's board has to be the same. So if purple is at 80 degrees and the temple's at 10 degrees, every player must have the same setup. So again, I'm just doing this randomly, but whether you're playing 2, 3, or 4 players, each player will take turns doing different, basically selecting where the starting explorers are and where the starting temples are. So then one player will have their tiles upside down. So the green player has their upside down, and I couldn't fit all the red player's tokens in the camera here. But you'll see there's 36 tokens. And so these other tiles here that are stacked up would be spread out so the red player could see them. So the green player would pick a tile from his or her stacks and call it out for everybody. So 21. So the green player would place this on their board, and the red player would find their 21 and could place it anywhere they want on here. But the idea is that you've got to create a path for blue to get to the blue temple, for brown to get to the brown temple. So this would be a bad play because if I put it here, blue couldn't even get out. And so the game ends when one player gets all 4 of their explorers to their 4 temples. So I'll probably put this one here.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Well, that's okay. And so then green would pick another tile. Okay, 8. Now this is an excellent one. Now one of the rules is that the numbers, have to be facing the same way. You can't rotate it. So for instance, 21, I could not go like that. It has to be facing in the upper left-hand corner. So a really good location might be right here. So you don't have to have start next to Explorer, so you can plan ahead. So just for the sake of time here, let's say that I do place, this is called out. Now this is a gold here. I'll tell you what that does in a minute. And then this goes here. And then eventually, I'm hoping that I create a path. And again, I'm not setting this up well because see how I messed myself up here? I made it hard to get to purple.
Sweetie, don't forget to put that white, the little clear token on, or little clear gem on that tile.
So again, eventually, I'm going to try to create a path that gets to all the different temples. Now, eventually, a tile is going to be called that you're not going to want to use. So let's say this comes up and I don't want to use this tile. So what I do is, instead of placing it on the board, I turn it over. I say, I'm not going to use this. And because it has 2 exits or entrances, 1, 2, I turn it over and I can move a piece 1 or 2 places. So if I move it 1 place, I can pick up this gold. But you can't move, pick up, and then move again. So I'd have to make a choice. Do I skip over that gold to get that diamond and get to the brown temple sooner? Because again, I want to beat other players to the temple, because whoever gets there first gets this 5 point idol. If I get there second, I get 4 points. Now, if 2 players get there at the same time, which often happens, 1 player gets to 5, 1 player gets to 4, and then gets a diamond with it. So basically, both players get 5s. So again, the strategy is, in a way, you're kind of playing a solo game. But you can be looking at other players' boards and plan your strategy of who you're going to move first to try to beat another player. So that's the level of interaction, is trying to race someone, beat them to a temple before someone else so that you get the higher point idol. Or try to go out first, try to get all 5 of your guys to the temples, and then somebody might have one of their guys out here and they didn't get to the temple, so they didn't get as many points.
Huh, that's me.
Yeah, that happens.
A lot to me.
So let's take a look at what we like about this game.
Well, did you want to show them how we played it with Eddie?
Oh, yeah. That's right. See, I'm getting ahead of myself.
That's okay.
Here.
We played this with our oldest son. This is probably his most favorite game. We ask him, what game do you want to play, Ed? This is his go-to every darn time.
So, yeah, we're playing a 3-player game. And, again, it's become one of his favorite games.
Because he wins all the time, that's why.
Yeah, he definitely wins more than anybody. So you can see that Julie's calling out. Well, right now we're setting up the board like I talked about. So we take turns, and we let Julie go first, so she got to place 2. So she picked the first tile, and Eddie and I both place ours. And we ended up, basically, I put mine next to purple. Eddie did as well, but Julie placed hers next to yellow.
Yes.
Eddie put his in the middle. I put mine in the same place. We're not looking at each other's boards, but I guess that could become a problem, and you could put screens up, I guess, for players who like to peek at each other.
I have to admit, I don't ever do that. I try and make my own, which sometimes will bite me in the butt because I don't always get my guys to their temples. But you know what? I have fun. It's all fun.
Right, so you can see this is somewhat of an abstract game. Placing tiles, and it's puzzle-like. And again, you'll see here. I'll skip ahead here. The player interaction here starts coming towards the end, where see if I pause it here, I only have to get my purple, I believe, to the end. I'm only 1, 2, 3 away, and Eddie has more than one person left to get to the end. So
you only have one person left. You have your blue guy. You didn't get your blue guy over there.
I didn't get him there yet?
No, he's still hanging out on the bottom.
Yeah, you're right.
And I only have one guy that's, my purple has met up with its temple, but that's...
Okay, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
I just got my purple there. I'm racing to get my blue there before Eddie gets his yellow and purple.
Right.
So if you look at the very top of the screen, Eddie still has his purple guy. He's trying to get his yellow guy to the end. And I'm racing to end the game early. So I just ended the game early.
Yeah.
Eddie got his yellow guy to the end. I got my blue guy. Eddie did not get his purple guy to the end. But see, what the trade-off is that I only won by 1 point, because Eddie spent more time picking up gems than I did. So again, that's the tension in the game, is do you race to get your people to the temples and skip over the gold and the diamonds in order to end the game early?
Well, I think that is a good thing to try and figure out. I'm just lucky if I get one guy to its temple. This is such a hard, abstract game for me. It's fun because I enjoy playing it especially with Eddie, because he works such long hours. We don't get to spend
right, and that's why he picks this game, is because he is tired often, so he just wants to play a quick game.
Right.
So go ahead and talk about what you liked and didn't like about the game.
Well, I like building the paths. I do like to see how I'm going to end up trying to get everyone across, and I'm not as successful as David and Eddie and David Jr., but again, I do my best. I do like moving the little guys around. I like seeing, which path they're taking and such. I think that's always fun.
Yeah. That is fun to see how the board
how
evolves.
It plays. Oh, yeah, and no one's is ever the same. Even if you might have a couple of the same pieces in the same spot, it's not the same. As I said, the abstract part of it is extremely difficult with my little brain, but
you don't have a little brain.
I know my brain isn't super healthy, but this is a good game for me because it does keep it active. It does It does make it work. And I'm not one to suggest this because it is so difficult for me, but I'm happy to play it. I really am, and it is very frustrating for me to compete with David and the boys because they're much better at it than I am. But as I said, I do like playing it because it does make my brain work. It keeps it alive.
So for me, it's a satisfying race game. It is a race game.
It is.
It's a comfortable mental challenge. So in other words, it's
comfortable for some in this family.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, Okay, the way to put it is, you don't feel like you're working too hard. At least I don't.
Excuse me?
There are other games where it feels like work, but see, we're you don't play those. You don't play those.
No,
games.
I don't. This is like one of those games for me, though. Like the harder games you guys play. This is like a hard game for me, which is equal to what you guys play.
Right, but you won't play a game that takes 2 hours.
Oh,
that
heck no.
feels like work.
No.
So it's very limited interaction. Like I said, the most you're going to do is just try to race somebody to the end, like I talked about. It is light, but it is fun.
It is fun. It really is.
And again, it's when we ask our children, what do you want to play, who are adults now, Eddie will pick this one off, and because he doesn't want to play that long of a game.
No, there are times he will, but most of the part, when he's working so much, he wants something quick and easy.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one more game to go over.
No, we have to do what our rating was,
yes.
remember?
I forgot. See, it's good that
Good thing I'm here.
See, you can tell we're recording this live, so because I'm messing up a lot.
It's okay.
All right, so again, we did these ratings separately, and because it is not your favorite game.
Exactly. I rated it a good because I will play it, but I will not suggest it. And I don't have to be talked into playing it. However, I will not be like, oh, yeah, let's play this game tonight. Yeah, not happening.
Right. And again, you play it because our son suggested. In fact, he suggested so much that we've played it 29 times.
Oh, my gosh.
Since September 30th because it plays so quick.
It does.
Now, it can take a little time to set up, but you play it about in less than 10 minutes. And so, again, I rated excellent, which means I will suggest it. I will recommend other people to buy it. It did win an award, I believe.
I think it did. Yeah.
It was either nominated or it won. I forget which one. I have to look it up.
I don't remember.
But again, we will continue playing this, I'm sure, for a while.
Heck yeah.
So we have one more game to do.
All right, let's do it.
Which we'll do here in a moment.